Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts at patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds. Hello, everyone. My name is Tom Reimann.
And I'm Jeff May.
And I'm Marina Reimann.
And we just watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
We did it.
And
First time.
Yeah,
First try.
Nailed it. Nailed it on the first try.
We definitely did not do this twice.
Ladies and gentlemen,
My name is Miles Morales. I'm the one and only Spider-Man. At least that's what I thought.
You ever hear of the Super Collider? You're gonna love this.
Dimension opening now.
You're like me. That's impossible.
We just
sure did.
watched
It was fun.
this movie.
It
Yeah,
was
I liked
a lot
it.
of fun. I have to say, viewers, or rather listeners, to please forgive me. I had to smoke a joint, or what the equivalent of a joint, but with a
Ooh, look
vape
at this
pen.
guy.
Because
What, at a Sublime
this
concert?
movie, no, we were at the Spider-Verse, and so many strobe lights, you guys. I have epilepsy. This movie is not necessarily epileptic safe. Gotta say
No,
that.
not at all. Not to take the necessarily.
that
the
is-
necessarily is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence.
Is there like an epilepsy.com that'll tell you what movie watch, like a movie watch that'll
I don't
tell
know.
you what
There
is
should
or
be.
isn't?
There is. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, and I apologize. I will look at
Yeah, it's fine. Well, this one is dangerous if you're epileptic.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on visually.
Yeah.
my God,
There's also
yeah.
a lot of tricks. Like the background is it's like purposely blurry.
Yeah, it's almost fluid. That's what it made me think of. I was like, we were in a river.
And that was a weird visual choice. I don't know how to get too quickly into some weird thing. You should talk 30 minutes into the podcast, but like the visual blurriness in the background, I thought they were going to clear that up when his spider sense kicked in.
Yes,
I was
me
like, oh,
too.
so then they're going to clear it up.
Thinking
They never
the same
did.
Thing.
No, it was
Always
just
blurry in the background as an aesthetic choice.
yeah,
Which is fine.
Yeah.
It made us really focused on what
Yeah.
was happening.
yeah. On the
Forces
action
your
foreground.
focus, yeah.
Yeah.
It hurts your head too, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But
it's so beautiful.
it's
worth it,
She's like, it almost killed me.
Yeah.
Worth it.
and it made me stupid.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good.
It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
A lot of people have been busting a grape over this
Yep.
movie on the internet.
Just-
and
Yeah.
but also like it was fine.
Yeah, it was just it was
good.
fine. Like
It was
I've seen a
great.
lot of it's the best Spider-Man movie. I'm like,
No, I say
I mean,
no.
here's
I
what
say
I'll
Homecoming.
here's
still.
here's what I'll say to that. It doesn't need Iron Man
nope.
to stand on its own, and that's my one problem with Homecoming that I'm
Yes.
always going to have
Yes.
is that Homecoming is an
It's
Iron
not
Man
a standalone movie.
and Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
And I've always been just a tiny bit annoyed by that.
Oh well.
I was thinking, I thought about it, but yeah, and I like that this movie, I feel like, stands on its own. I almost don't even want to put it in the same box as other Spider-Man movies.
Well, it's animated.
Yeah.
You
There's
know,
a
and
couple of things that set it apart already.
That has a lot to do with it. But I like that we're at this point now where movies can be batshit crazy
Yeah.
and still be made.
Yeah, like this is a bold choice.
Oh my God, yeah.
for a movie.
Yeah, a weird like a art. I don't want to say artistically animated because that sounds fun, but it's almost like an Art Deco cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, the animation is really, really unique and really it's very cool.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like
No,
it. It was
no,
like,
me
It's
either.
like if a comic book was alive and you couldn't get out. Like,
Yeah.
you fell into a comic
They're
book.
always like everything you're saying is like doom laced. You fall in a comic book and you can't get out. Yeah.
I guess it's just because it almost killed me, but
Sure.
I survived.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really strong aesthetic choices, storytelling choices. Once shit kicks in, that I really hadn't seen in a comic book movie probably since Ang Lee's
the Hulk, yeah. There's like kind of the comic book panels a lot.
Yeah, the cinematography choices in Ang Lee's Hulk were great, and they utilized I want to say the screen, but the page almost really well in here. It's very meta in that it knows it's a comic book movie.
Yeah.
and it's fun.
And it references the other Spider-Man movies in the beginning too, which is fun.
Oh yeah, and they throw you curveballs real quick. It's
You have to be as quick as he is in this movie. Like you're just kind of
because they start. Yeah, when it starts out, it seems as if it's in the established Spider-Man universe,
that
but then
threw me for a second too.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, so in this universe is Miles Morales also in the normal universe? Because they did it in the recent PlayStation game. Is Peter and Miles are in the same universe,
and then out of nowhere you get the Spider clone haircut.
Yep, it's the Ben Reilly
hair. Yeah,
yeah.
Sort of reveal where it's like, okay, we're not. This isn't the one we saw, the guy we saw in the previews, and then it gets real dark real fast.
Yeah,
my God,
he
yeah.
fucking dies.
And also the introduction. I want to say because if people are listening, they've seen it, right? You wouldn't. Don't
we spoil movies in this, so they
don't
know.
listen to this before you see it. So I don't. Going through the beats is a little different. As much as my fascination with the choice of the two main assistants of the Kingpin, which are Tombstone and the Prowler.
And Prowler.
And the Prowler.
Yeah, I want because the Prowler is a huge part of this.
He is. That's a cool theme. Too.
Yeah, and he's not Hobie Brown. He's
Aaron Davis.
He's Aaron Davis, which
is he Aaron Davis in the main universe or in Ultimate?
Ultimate. He's Hobie Brown in the main universe. I think that's the name. It sounds right to me.
Yeah.
And I also want to say that the aesthetic choice to use a Bill Sienkiewicz-inspired Kingpin design is out of control.
I feel like he's bigger. Like they changed a lot of stuff.
They made him so big.
In the trailer. Like a lot of stuff in the trailer happens.
The trailer was different from the movie. There are a lot of scenes a couple that didn't happen in the movie.
Or that happened differently.
Yeah.
And I feel like in the trailer, Kingpin wasn't as enormous as he is in the finished film.
Well, if you look at the Sienkiewicz, the Daredevil stuff, like the Elektra stuff and everything, that design is very specifically, the Kingpin choice is Bill Sienkiewicz's design. Like he's most, famously, he did Elektra Assassin.
Oh, cool.
And it's just such a strong decision to make him look exactly like Sienkiewicz's style.
Oh,
like
my gosh.
The fact that his body is very like his traps go over
above his head. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
he looks like a
slab.
He looks like a mech warrior.
Yeah,
he does.
The choice of that it's a very specific choice, and when I saw it I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, it's pretty sweet.
It's a hell of a design choice to have.
Bold.
I feel like this Spider-Man is for comic book fans. I really felt that way because we saw these little tiny details, like the dots for the art and things like that that would just pop out and then be gone. But we recognized it and it triggered something in us, and that's it's wonderful.
Yeah.
No,
I think you definitely don't have to know anything about any of the comics to enjoy the movie, but you definitely,
it's extra.
Yeah.
If you do, it's like you're rewarded for liking comics.
The designs, I think, are the design first and foremost. The best part of this movie, I think, is the visual aesthetic and the design. I think the fact that they chose a Gwen that is kind of very visible. I would say kind of very visibly, but it's certainly what's her name from the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Like they took her kind of
Emma Stone.
Yeah, the Emma Stone like angles of her face. It's very similar to Emma Stone's look, which I think was really great. I really liked that, and then and when you get introduced to all the other Spider-Men, all of their designs fit their aesthetic in this world.
Yeah, in this they redesigned, like Spider-Man Noir looks different.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the they gave him newspaper pointillism. The pointillism is very like he was printed on a newspaper, and that's so great.
Yeah, like I didn't want him to get wet the whole time.
Oh,
I was like, oh my God, please don't.
And there's a fun running joke where he can't see color.
Yes. And
Peter,
spoiler alert, he's voiced by
Nicolas Cage. It's not a spoiler. Everybody knows that, I think.
Yeah, it's
If
so
you look
great.
it up. He's great.
He's so fun. I think the best thing is that Nicolas Cage has been taking a lot of gigs where he knows that part of the joke is that it's Nicolas
him.
Cage.
Yeah.
This is my favorite Nicolas Cage movie.
I liked Teen Titans Go to the movies a little bit more than this, I think.
Didn't see it.
That's a
I
bummer.
didn't see that either.
It's a bummer.
Aw.
It's so good. But they're very different. They're good in very different ways. The Spider-Gwen or the Spider-Woman.
So excited to see Spider-Gwen / Woman.
Yeah, she's cool.
She's such a crazy popular character now. I mean,
Yeah.
She's got an amazing costume design. I think that's part of the popularity. For me, anyways. I love the colors. I love the look.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
very,
it's a
'cause it
cool
directs
design.
the eye up instead of like, oh, hey, generic sexy woman frame. And I say this as a bisexual. So, yes, that is
she's a
partly
child,
directed at me, too. But
so
yeah.
don't be gross.
No, I saw Spider-Woman. I meant Spider-Woman. Like, they've got her whole face, like, but with the cowl and the ballet slippers are cool.
Yeah, it's the aesthetic that you would assign to a teen girl.
Yeah,
that
she's
was
cool.
athletic like that.
Yeah.
And
Sorry,
yeah,
I didn't mean to be gross. I wasn't trying to be gross. But yeah, she's like a cool teen girl.
Yeah.
cool teen girl.
All right.
Spider-Ham,
Fucking
being
Mulaney.
John Mulaney and delivering it.
I appreciate the restraint.
So
because
great.
Yeah.
He was used just enough to be awesome and not annoying.
Yeah, they didn't overuse him.
No,
it's
he was
just
fun.
the perfect amount of him
I was so delighted that he was in it.
in there.
In Spider-Ham.
And then the anime, the Spider-Man 3040 or whatever it
Yeah.
is.
So cool.
It's just fun. It's
Mm-hmm.
just a very fun and unique, insane movie.
More intense than I was expecting.
It's throwing intensity.
Be
Like
prepared for feels.
there's a lot of like genuine emotion in it. Prowler is all of the villain fights are like scary because they
yeah.
establish right away that what the stakes are.
the hero can
Yeah.
die.
His Kingpin straight up murders Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he uses his patented Spider-Man the Animated Series action figure Kingpin move.
The double axe handle
Double
smash.
axe handle smash.
Yeah.
With that 40-pound Kingpin toy.
Yeah. It's like a paperweight.
Yeah, that
That was a bookend.
That one toy I remember just being like, is this in the same toy line? Like, did you guys, how much did you spend
This
to
feels
make
like a
this?
billiard ball.
Yeah, it's heavy.
Like,
I never got to experience this toy. I'm sorry.
it was Spider-Man the Animated Series in the early 90s.
Yeah, and it was a massive, like, it was so much bigger. It was like surprising because
Yeah.
a lot of times plastic was so expensive. 'cause of
Yeah, and they'll
petroleum.
generally use the same height scales.
But
And then
this
it's
one
just
was
one massive
so much
fucking
bigger
dude.
and
Yeah.
so much heavier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Kidding.
no, we know what we are.
I was 11 when this
Yeah.
toy came out
Yeah. Oh my
in
God.
1994.
Yeah, it was 12 to 13.
Yeah.
I was 5.
Yeah. So, what are oh man.
But so the stakes, the designs for the alternate world characters are great. The Octavius surprise.
The DPNY instead of the NYPD.
Oh yeah.
I think that's actually copyright reasons. I
Maybe.
think because I think there's a lot of times like to use NYPD, it's actually like a a licensed.
That's interesting. Well, I
I've
know
seen movies say LAPD and stuff like that. Is it like
I think it's
different from state to
the
state?
design, but you're right. It might be
Yeah,
just to
I thought
show that it's a different thing.
yeah.
But
And they did.
I've noticed that in other movies
They
too.
did Coca Soda, or
Well, yeah, that was- yeah.
Yeah.
But they actually showed us the Coca-Cola, and then I don't remember if they showed us the NYPD. Shoot, somebody look for that.
I'm not sure.
well either way.
I do. There's a lot of like little Easter eggs in there, like
Oh, yeah.
all the movies,
All the movie
the Seth
posters.
Rogen,
The Seth Rogen
movie.
one. Yeah.
And like Nick Kroll and Mulaney's show is
Yeah.
in the background, but it's like a different. It's not Oh Hello on Broadway. It's something
I
else.
missed that one. That's fun.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to like.
I was
really
looking
pay
at
attention,
yeah.
Yeah, we are kind of. We're gonna go all over because this is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this.
That's how this movie is. kind
Yeah, the movie is a smattering of images and
Yeah.
information that comes to you so fast.
It's very hard to describe this movie.
It's the movie in of itself is a as we find out slight time hop as well.
Yeah.
But you have multiple 4-minute origin stories as you're getting introduced to more Spider-Verse characters, which is...
And they do a fun thing with it.
Yeah. It's
throwing each comic down.
Yeah.
I
love that.
It's fun. It's...
The Doc Ock reveal, I think, comes from... Because to my knowledge, there's not a lady Doc Ock in any of the comic lines right now.
I was so surprised.
Not now, no. But there was Doc Ock's daughter in the post Aunt May death around that era.
Mm-hmm.
There was a female Dr. Octopus for a while, but not currently, I don't think.
There was a PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 video game called Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, which is pretty similar to this film in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And in that one, in the 2099 universe, there's a female Doc Ock who has a similar design, not exactly, but...
Yeah.
It's funny you say that, because I was thinking as I was watching this movie, besides was this would make an awesome game. Like, all the different... Like, it was like gravity was very... Like, in a lot of movies, you just kind of... Gravity is normal, but this movie felt... like you were in space. Like anything could be down or up, like just like it is for Spider-Man.
It certainly is. I think the level of that is really ramped up at the end.
Yeah.
At the end,
God,
it almost to the point where you're just like,
I was disoriented.
Calm down.
Yeah, it's a little
psychedelic.
There's a lot like that. I actually do have a problem with the ending of that because there's no... The only rule of the physics of it is that somehow the Kingpin knows how to work in an anti-gravity world. Like, I get that it's a cartoon, but like that whole thing,
with his tiny little hooves.
Yeah, it was weird.
Did I miss it, or did they never actually plug the goober in? Because
no, they did.
He plugged the goober in. He had to hit the green button.
That's all. Yeah, see, I saw the green button part. The green button part, but I didn't see the.
Yeah, he gets it in.
Okay.
He gets the goober in.
Cool.
Yeah, I like the Doc Ock design. How she had like the tube tentacles instead of the metal
pretty
ones.
sweet.
That was pretty rad.
It's a good reveal too, because you're really not expecting it.
Yeah, what's your name exactly?
Yeah.
I loudly
she
said,
turns vicious
shit,
all of a sudden.
People call you Doc Ock.
My enemies call me Doc Ock. My friends call me Liv.
Yeah. But that's there's a lot of really cute dialogue in this too.
Yeah.
The stories are like Spider-Man is rooted in tragedy, and yet they handle it very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. As
they
funny
kind of
as can be.
Remind us that it's kind of like this is the norm. This is how it goes.
Yeah. We all lose shit.
Yeah.
We all gonna lose some shit.
All of our uncles get shot sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot of uncle death in this.
It's such a cute movie.
It is.
Shout out to my awesome niece Allie. And my awesome...
Hi, Allie.
I'm sure she's not listening.
You subscribe, you little idiot.
This is for when she's older.
Is she going to dive into this, you think?
No.
Oh, you told her you'd shout her out?
Yeah, I did. But no,
tell her to
super
subscribe
into
to Tom and
stuff.
Jeff Watch Batman.
Yeah. Tell me if God, man, where do we even...
I know, right?
It's hard to...
It's hard to know where to go. Aunt May, she was... sweet. I liked Aunt May. She was,
Lily Tomlin character.
Lily Tomlin Aunt May.
Yeah, but she was like a Deus Ex Machina. Almost.
I had a little bit of a problem with that. It was a little too much like Alfred and Batman and Robin, where he's like, I took the liberty of preparing a suit for you, Alicia Silverstone.
Gee, thanks. That's convenient.
It's like, how the fuck do you know how to build all this shit?
I mean, that being said, that universe could very well be that Aunt May has always known. There's the fact that she had access to the
spider shit, and it's this elaborate basement.
It's not his Aunt May, it's this Aunt May.
Yeah.
It's ultimate Aunt May figured it out pretty early. It wasn't until when Aunt May found out in Straczynski's run in the early 2000s. Or the early to mid 2000s when she found out. It could be that sometimes Aunt May always knows. So
that's how they handled it when she died in the 90s.
Number 400.
Yeah. She's like, I've always known, Peter.
To get her soul carried away by Judas Traveler. Stupid garbage.
The 90s were a difficult time for Spider-Man. The Clone Saga.
cloned parents. And...
the cloned parents and all the different... Then Kane and... Jesus.
Oh, Kane, who was a spider clone at one point in time.
Seriously?
It was a nightmare.
It was pretty bad. And then
Garbage fire.
It got real bad in the 90s for old Webhead.
Oh, that's
I was
right.
thinking the art was bad, but ooh.
No, the art was generally
I guess I
fine.
just
Mark
thought
Bagley
Peter
and-
looks awful.
Well, it's that hairstyles.
Yeah. Todd McFarlane wasn't a bad artist. He was just drawing a bad
I'm
style.
sorry. I'm so sorry. I never meant to implicate Todd, but
In a crime. Let's frame him for murder.
I never meant to accuse Todd McFarlane of multiple homicides.
oh man, I almost feel like this kind of movie was made more possible by the success of the Deadpool franchise. I really think that, because in a lot of ways I feel like it changed the rules, or it made so much money and it was so weird, but we liked it, so now I feel like producers trust us more.
What's this one?
Possibly.
What?
Oh, what was I forgot the movie that you were referencing first.
Deadpool.
Oh yeah, the Deadpool franchise. Like, because we keep giving them money for weird shit, and now the producers are like, well, we can kind of push the boundaries with
Deadpool,
the audience.
I think the Deadpool boundary that's being pushed is the rating boundary more than the getting weird, because Deadpool isn't especially weird, it's just naughty
and meta.
and I think that's
Which is weird from a cinema standpoint.
Yeah.
I guess I just think that they're able to get away with more meme and quick and blah,
I wouldn't necessarily. I get what you're saying. I think the Deadpool lesson is very visible in Logan.
Okay,
which I can't do this every podcast. I can't speak
Shit
out
on
against
Logan.
Logan every podcast.
Every single
because
podcast we record.
It is a good movie that I like, that I don't think should exist. And Deadpool taught the wrong lesson to Fox.
Yeah.
I can enjoy Deadpool and say people aren't going to get the right lesson from this, which is,
Of course.
this movie works as a rated R. Stop doing it to everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not everything does.
Not every children's thing needs to have something that appeals to 35-year-old men.
Yeah.
Yes. I think more of it might be that for a long time it was clear that Sony just had no idea what to do with Spider-Man.
Oh God, yeah.
They did the reboot.
Garbage.
They did Homecoming was teaming up with Marvel, and then they kind of did something weird with Venom.
Yeah.
And now this one.
Did it? Oh, did it do something weird?
Did it do
with
something
Venom?
weird with Venom? Yeah.
Made
make
an
a Venom.
accidental comedy?
Yes.
Oh man, it's great.
Oh God,
I loved it. I loved it.
I
and
was
then
so
Were you salty?
flabbergasted when I left. Like, I was like, why were we so mean to Topher Grace?
and this feels like on paper, this feels like a movie that would have been straight to DVD, but it is not that at all. It's a full blown
It's
feature
fantastic.
film. It's 2 hours, which I was surprised.
I was like,
I was
really?
like, really? It was an hour and 57 minutes long, and when the theater guy told us that, I was like, what? Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a character in the movie called Theater Guy,
Yeah.
which is
Theater
very
guy
meta.
came out
It's
and he
super
said,
meta.
"Hey guys,
And
buckle
he
up.
popped out of the screen.
This spider adventure is an hour and 57 minutes long. Don't go anywhere."
Hey, how'd you feel about that Stan Lee cameo?
You know what? I felt my heart hurt.
Yeah. It's his last one. It's
Yeah.
When he says, I miss him too.
yeah.
I was like, oh, shit.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was.
You just died.
It hurts again just thinking about
Yeah.
it. Just like, oh.
It's a sweet cameo.
Yeah.
They should have Steve Ditko cameo for the rest.
I know. They did say,
Fucking Sting.
Pull his
They did.
body out of the ground and Weekend at Bernie's it in each
Yeah.
movie.
Oh, Ditko did die, didn't he?
Yeah,
No,
that's-
wait,
yeah,
when did
he's dead.
Ditko die?
Didn't he?
A while ago.
Dead?
Did he?
'Cause
He
they-
probably
at,
did.
At the very end, they were like,
Yeah, there was
They
a,
were doing a thank you to Steve Ditko.
Yeah.
yeah, but it was like equal size on font with Stan Lee.
Yeah.
So that
Well,
makes
that's
me think
because Steve Ditko is literally
Well,
the creator of Spider-Man.
that- yeah, but I mean, like, if he wasn't dead, I don't know. If
Oh,
they
he
would've
died
put him
this
right
year in
next to-
June.
Yeah. See,
Oh, okay.
It wasn't a while ago. but-
Man, I was thinking of Jack Kirby, I think.
Kirby died in the 90s.
That's what I was thinking. I was mixing him up with Jack Kirby.
See, that's the thing about Spider-Man that is like everyone's like, I don't need me to keep saying this, but Stan Lee created some stuff by saying, here's my idea. This is the
Do
character's
it.
name.
Yeah.
Make a character.
Yeah.
Like, that was it.
Sure.
And so, like, And then he was always like not giving a lot of the credit to the people that would do it, like or like sure you drew the characters, but Jack and Stan, like it was there's a reason he went to DC, because he was just not giving credit. Stan was like, I'm the idea guy, and it's like but all you did was say, I want a character called Spider-Man. Make it.
Peter Parker's double P, so we won't forget him.
Yeah.
Although he was Peter Palmer in one of the Golden Age comics. I can't remember which one, but they forgot his name.
Oh yeah,
it was Peter Palmer.
Yep, that'll happen.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what you said wasn't a joke, and he literally named them alliterative names so that he would remember them, like Bruce Banner and Peter Parker and Reed Richards.
Well, they did that in DC as well. You know, Lois Lane, Clark Kent, Lori Lemaris, Wally West.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Not all of them, but
can I say the music was awesome in this movie?
It really fits the aesthetic very well.
Yeah, it's a wonderful fusion thing. They've got orchestral stuff mixed with like hip hop, and they had some Black Caviar did a song.
This movie's clearly for teenagers.
Yeah,
and I like that a lot.
Definitely, yeah.
And I really like that. I like that it's a movie that is designed. Because so many of these movies
our niece and nephew are going to go see it.
So many of these movies are made for adults. Mm-hmm. Even if they're kids' movies, they're like, you 30-somethings are going to love this. This movie is...
And you've stopped reproducing.
For teenagers, and I like that.
Yeah. Primarily. Yeah,
that's how it should be.
It really should, because they need this, and this is such a good like morals movie. Like if I were raising children, I'd be like, let's all sit down as a family and watch this movie and learn about how you.
It's the new Bible. Yeah,
Spider-Man.
Exactly.
And that's a glowing recommendation. I've never seen a review. Could you imagine reading a review in like a newspaper or something and be like, this is going to be my family's new moral code.
We're going to gather around this film every Sunday. And we're going to extrapolate its teachings.
I mean, it kind of covers
in our
a
everyday
lot
life.
of things. Like, hey, you can turn your life around even after you get fat and divorced and everything. You know, just and you're not fat.
I feel fat.
But and then there's also the you can have a father-son relationship. That's a beautiful thing. It's okay to say I love you, Dad. And all these other things, and then they've got the multicultural thing.
Don't you dare take that lesson from this film.
What multicultural thing? Can you explain that?
What
do
that
mean? Speak that out loud.
Sorry.
Tell me more about this. Why is it important?
I'm gonna punch you.
Talk yourself into a weird corner real quick.
No, it's cool. I just liked that. I love language, and I loved that the script flowed between English and Spanish frequently.
Oh yeah,
whenever he was talking with his mother,
and then Scorpion as well,
and Scorpion as well,
at school, and he just
wait, at school,
he would eat with a couple of people. He was like a couple of his friends on the street.
It's funny that he's cool in his old school,
and then he goes lame in his new school.
Well, they're elitist, as he said.
Yeah, he's so lame in his new school.
He's I guess a city, a school.
He's a public school, and he's at a public school, and then
he got there on a lottery, so of course they're going to roast him alive.
Well, he gets sent to a private school
because he won a lottery.
Yes.
So they're, of course, the school kids. They're gonna eat him alive.
Yeah.
I mean,
kids are awesome, but they also suck sometimes.
No, they're not awesome.
They're all terrible.
No, you're wrong on the first part, but really right on the second part. They are little trash fires. Allie.
So,
Allie, you rude little idiot.
No.
All right, let's get back to the film.
Sorry.
Sorry, I have a grudge and I need to get it out right now.
All right. Good.
All right.
It's interesting they used the Ultimate Green Goblin design.
Yeah, I was not.
We're in the Ultimate Universe.
Oh,
we're not.
What?
We're sort of.
We're kind of in the Ultimate Universe. We're not exactly in the Ultimate Universe. We're like in whatever his universe is.
Isn't this like its own thing?
I mean, Miles Morales
kinda, sort of
is originated from the Ultimate Universe.
Yes.
But in this, it's just his universe.
Yeah.
Peter Parker is blonde and
he's
all
Aryan.
of that.
And Chris Pine.
He's
blonde.
And very Chris Pine. Yeah. Yeah. And it's and in I just totally blanked out. I was hearing out of the corner of my ear. It sounds like someone's
talking on speakerphone.
Announcing a demolition derby.
Yeah. There was an interesting design for Scorpion.
Yeah, Scorpion's design is... I think that's the first time we've ever seen him.
That's completely new.
Like we've never seen that in anything before. It's kind of like a Mojo leg thing.
Yeah, he's got the Robo spider legs.
Like Robo-y spider legs.
And he's like partial cyborg.
I was gonna say, I thought he was like a centaur sort of.
Yeah, like he looks like he's like a cyber hitman for the drug cartels or something. Like he's very like he's got like the gangland tattoos on his face.
Yes.
Too.
He looks like he just got out of prison.
Yeah,
just got out of Scorpion prison. Yeah.
That's called a cage, I believe. It's a fish tank.
It's called a terrarium.
Yeah. You would not be able to keep that man in oh my gosh.
No, you'd have to
break out of the terrarium.
You'd have to have little manacles for each of his little robot legs. And then one for his tail.
Yeah.
What was another? I think that's all of the villains that show up.
Yeah, you get Kingpin, Doc Ock, Prowler,
Tombstone.
Yeah. Tombstone, who does nothing.
I don't think Tombstone has a line.
No, I was wondering because I was going to be like,
he's just like a thing.
He's like he gets like stabbed or something, and he's hurt. And he yanks it out, and he says something, and I can't remember what it was. But he just wanders around looking weird.
I don't think Tombstone gets stabbed.
I don't think he gets stabbed.
His whole thing is,
I mean,
something.
He's pretty granity.
Yeah, his whole thing is he has concrete skin.
Oh yeah, he got hit by a magnet. Sorry, I think that's what it was.
Oh,
the pig.
Spider-Ham hit him in the head with a magnet.
Hit him in the face with a magnet, like dented it, and he ripped it out of his.
Oh, I might have been
peeing. Yeah.
Might have been peeing.
He also dropped an anvil on Scorpion's head.
Yes, and the anvil
who was fine with it.
Awesome twice.
Yeah.
The anvil helped close the.
Yeah, they do a nice callback with the anvil.
Yeah. And callback jokes are my favorite kind.
The Spider-Ham stuff is funny. It's really well done.
Yeah, it's very well integrated.
They could have done it so wrong so easily. They could have gone all Minions with it, which would have been awful. But they did it again
funny
with
if this
beautiful
turns into
restraint.
a Minions movie.
Yeah,
just a full-on Minions movie.
Full-on Minions fest.
Oh my God, Spider-Minion.
Oh no. I'm sure that exists
what have
somewhere.
I done? I can never take that back.
I'm sure somebody beat you to that.
Yeah.
Somebody
you're not
definitely beat you to that.
Yeah, that's all over.
There's a minion for everything.
Yeah, all of our moms have shared that on our Facebook walls.
Oh yeah.
Look what I saw in the Minion corner of the internet.
Yeah.
I wonder.
It's like something. Don't talk to me until I've had my coffee. Minion.
Yeah. Don't talk to me until I've eaten a Minion.
Now that I could do. I could get on that.
Well, yeah, because Minions have a creamy center.
Oh my
They're
God.
like Twinkies.
Yeah, they're like Twinkies.
You just bite them.
Perfect.
They do a fun thing in Spider-Man's subterranean spider cave, where we get to see a bunch of fun stuff like the spider buggy, a lot of the different suits,
the costume, the big time costumes.
The couple,
in there,
both big time.
I really like that.
The one that Tony Stark gives him is in there.
It's the the PS4 one.
The PS4 one's in there. Yep. And they're doing a DLC that adds one of the Jake Johnson Peter Parker from this movie. His look is going to be. It's
going to be fat.
I hope so.
I like that he's kind of fat. I love that bit.
He's a little fat. Not all the time. There's certain shots where he's not.
There's this really great scene where he's telling his origin story, and he's like eating a slice of pizza, and he can't, like, even as the shit's falling apart, he's still trying to eat the pizza. And even when he gets sucked into the wormhole, he's trying to take the pizza with him.
Yeah,
so it ends up on the ceiling.
That's a great bit.
Yes.
The Jake Johnson is excellent as this Peter Parker.
Wonderful.
Was it supposed to be Tobey Maguire? And then he
was supposed to do a voice for it, possibly the Chris Pine Spider-Man.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Do you know what happened?
Nope.
Maybe he's an asshole. So maybe there's that.
Might be. I don't know.
He is.
Is he? Oh, I never knew.
He like low-key stalked a friend of somebody that I may have dated at one point.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, we're like
getting all the heat here.
That came out where it was revealed, I don't like him and you shouldn't either. And I'm like, why is that? Here's the story. I was like, oh yeah, no, I don't like him anymore.
Nope, me neither. I'm done.
Yeah, well. You can edit that out if you want.
Yeah, we might.
Fuck him.
Fuck you, Toby.
Okay.
Wiener Spider-Man. Soft-ass, whisper-ass Spider-Man.
Honestly, I never actually did like him very much.
Well, they do rip on him a lot. They do the dance scene.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They make fun of that pretty hard. It's great.
My first experience with him was that 70s show, so I just thought he was a weenie.
You're thinking of Topher Grace.
Oh, god damn it. I'm sorry, Tobey Maguire and Topher Grace.
You just apologize.
Let's just
to
keep
our
going ahead.
mortal enemy.
Let's just keep going ahead. Let's not even do this.
All right.
I have to say this.
Yeah.
This is going great.
This is probably the best episode of anything we've ever
This
recorded.
is.
We're staying on topic. We're talking about things that are relevant to this film, and we're not digressing into weird non sequiturs constantly.
No, this is without a doubt
Yeah, the finest episode
an award
we have ever recorded.
I think we should just stick different parts of this podcast together, just like the movie, like weird cuts
Touche.
and all that stuff. And
that,
just make this fantastic
Might be what
voyage.
happened.
That's probably
This might be a 15-minute episode.
yeah. Well, it's hard. It is hard to follow this. You're not doing this fucking movie beat by beat. It's not happening because
you
it's
can't.
so insane. It runs in such a weird. It runs in such a weird way.
It's a lot of going forward and then backing up to get the origin of the next
Yeah.
character, and then going
and then
forward
a
and
lot
then
of
backing up.
overlapping.
Yeah.
And it's like there's
Yeah.
layers to this
Yeah.
movie. This is like a 3-dimensional movie except without the glasses.
It's probably in 3D somewhere.
The woods chase
God, that would
scene is
kill
great.
Oh, that's so good when they, yeah,
Really well
Oh
done.
my God.
Miles and
Yeah.
Peter break into Alchemex, which is I think from the 2099 universe.
Yes, I think that's why they do
among several others.
the
Yeah.
ending.
I do like there's a lot of comedy in that section.
Oh yeah,
In the Alchemix bit, like the disappearing, the running away, the fight. But the part where he takes the bagel and when they're chasing after him, the lady goes, "He took a bagel."
That
bagel.
killed me. That killed me. It was great.
it's really
All the
good.
scientists have guns.
Yeah,
Yes.
everybody's got a gun.
Well, this is America.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's great. It's really well done. It's a fun little thing. The anime one I don't care about. They don't do anything to make her care.
They spend the least amount of time with her.
And then at the end they try to make a really sad thing. You're like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I didn't care about this character. You didn't make me care.
Yeah, her robot gets destroyed, and then we're kind of like, well, I mean,
And the robot
So-
says "I love you" before he dies, but in kanji, so no one who doesn't read kanji can understand.
well, they were in hearts, so I think we got the gist.
Yeah, that's true.
I used
about
my
that part.
context clues to figure
Yeah.
out that he said something racist.
Yeah.
He's a racist and
Racist?
a racist bot against Japanese girls. A racist, sexist robot. It's like my grandfather is a robot. He's talking about World War II all the time. She can't read kanji.
Oh
She
my
doesn't know.
God, Yeah, my dad. Yeah. But anyway. So yeah, this.
You're going to edit that out, and that's my favorite part of anything that happened on this podcast.
So I feel like was there some mixed media in this movie, because it felt like there was. Like I felt like that. Like there was like.
There was some yarn sculpture in here.
No.
What do you mean
It's
by
hard
mixed
for-
media?
Well, I just felt like some things were supposed to look like paper, and then some things were supposed to look like.
Oh, you mean the
It looked-
texture
yeah,
of the
the texture,
animation?
thank you,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
I think all the animated characters are built to look very different. Like
Yeah.
that their atoms don't match. So that's why
Exactly.
Spider-Man Noir looks different. That's why Spider-Ham is like glossier and cartoonish, and like his color's a little bit different. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if it's literally mixed media or not. It's hard to
Okay.
tell.
yeah,
it
I wouldn't think so. I think
would
it's
ass-
all computer
Yeah.
animation.
Okay.
I would
just
assume it's all that.
textured differently.
Mhm.
But yeah,
I really know nothing about effects.
So, is Doc Ock dead?
Oh, good question.
I mean,
She gets hit by a truck,
now here's a thing.
and then she's
And I
not
think it's the
arrested
same-
at the
it's-
end.
And I think it's the same truck that hit the car that had Wilson's family in it.
Possibly.
that'd be funny. That one guy just trying to kill women.
It's like,
Well,
not till they're all dead.
It's Overdrive. You know?
It's Maximum Overdrive. Only it's just running women over.
Yeah. So here's
Women and children.
Here's a thing that always bugs me about Spider-Man fights is he should be killing most people
'cause
he
he's
punches.
so fucking strong.
Yeah.
And Miles, like, it would have been funny to see all like the trained Spider-Men like punching her. And like she's like, ow, ow, because they're pulling their punches.
pulling their
and then
punches.
Miles just clears right through her face.
Yeah.
just drills it and punches her jaw clear off.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't know how to control his strength.
Yeah.
And we see that he doesn't. He cracks a boulder in half by accident.
Yeah.
So
it's something that's always... It doesn't bug me there. It's always bugged me about Kingpin specifically.
Yeah, why? Does Kingpin have... Please, he doesn't have superpowers, right?
No.
He's just a dude.
but he's not just... He's an Olympic power lifter.
Yeah.
Like,
but, I mean,
he's...
that doesn't make him, like...
He's the strongest actual person in the Marvel universe, pretty much.
Spider-Man's not a person?
Spider-Man is a
metahuman.
His DNA is structurally different.
I was a bad joke.
It's been consistent throughout all the comics that he just has super strength. Kingpin.
He's super strong.
He lifts a car in this.
Yeah.
He catches it and throws it back.
Yeah,
I think gravity's a little off in that era.
We'll assume.
Yeah, I think they're in the middle of a gravity well.
They might be.
So there's that. I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of stuff was going in different directions.
They were on the side of a building.
Yeah. One of my problems though was during that ending, like, how does he know? How's he getting stable footing?
No.
How's Kingpin establishing?
It's like he had anti-grav boots that just like clung. He was walking just fine.
I mean, yeah, he was okay. Like, he was fine with. He's like, this is the world I'm living in.
He had some solid sea legs for that spinning gravity chamber.
Yeah.
Just fine.
Clopping around on his hooves.
It's like a spider-only situation.
Yeah.
The Kingpin character, I think, could take a Spider-Man punch more than Fancy Dan and Ox could, you know.
Right,
the Kingpin
in Montana.
Kingpin is... I mean, when you look especially in, like, the Miller and Mazzucchelli stuff, like, where you show scenes of him, like, training and working out, and it's like, oh, this dude... And they even... All the Marvel Universe trading cards even told us, like, he's not just fat, you know. He's mostly muscle.
Yeah.
He's a muscly dude.
He's got stealth muscle.
Yeah. You know, like when you see UFC heavyweights.
Yeah.
And they all look fat. Mm-hmm. They all look like kind of fat dudes. And you're like, oh, this fat bastard.
Like
and then he's
Snatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like that the access port and emergency disabling function is on a part of the dimensional reactor that only a Spider-Man can reach.
Can get to, yeah. You know what I just realized, by the way? He's Butterbean.
He is Butterbean.
Remember Butterbean?
I do know Butterbean.
That's like the Kingpin.
Sort of, yeah.
He's like
he's an exhibitionist boxer.
Who was the most powerful puncher in the world.
Yeah.
Wow.
He can knock people out in a single blow. He's in he knocks Johnny Knoxville out in the Jackass movie inside a sporting goods store.
Oh my goodness.
It was amazing.
It was brutal.
But he was like the world tough man champion, and he didn't have the physicality to be like a heavyweight boxer because of the endurance and everything like that. But punch for punch, he's like one of the most brutal humans who ever lived.
Did they ever measure like the force? Did he ever get to do like one
I
of
would
those
think
punching
so.
machines?
Like a Rocky IV machine?
Yeah, let's hope so.
I would love to know what that was.
So that's Kingpin.
Yeah. Okay, I buy this more. I buy this more than I did before. Thank you, guys.
It gets to a point though where it's like, you know, when the fight's starting to get real desperate, I'm like, all right, like Peter could or Miles really crack his orbital socket.
Yeah.
just to be like, I am sick of this.
Punch through his ribs.
Yeah. There are other ways to disable this man.
I'm gonna blind you.
Yeah. Why not shoot
my
webbing
fists.
into his eyes or something?
Well, that's a standard move for Spider-Man.
Yeah. But he didn't do
Shooting
it.
the webbing in the eyes.
Shoot webbing into his nose and mouth and
never
then
does
kill
it in
him.
boss fights, does he? He never does it in boss fights,
That's
does
a
he?
Juggernaut.
Sure.
He does?
When he fought Juggernaut with X-Force.
I did not know.
I don't know why I immediately went to that.
Sure.
Must be all that talking shit on Todd McFarlane we did earlier.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, so this movie's really fun, but it's so hard to nail.
Yeah.
It's so hard to like really take a
Analyze.
moment to explain and analyze because there's so much going on. The Gwen character is really, really great. She's what you also have is a really interesting thing is you have three characters that are the heart of the movie. Because you have Miles, you have Gwen, and you have
Peter.
Peter Prime or whatever you'd want.
Yeah,
to call
Peter
it.
Prime. Sure, our Peter.
Yeah. And they all serve as sort of like different parts of like the conscience, and then you have the comic relief, which is the deadpan noir and the vaudevillian Spider-Ham.
Yeah.
And it's good. is great.
It's balanced, I would say. This is a very well-balanced movie, despite all of the different things it has going on.
Yeah, as crazy as it gets, it was never hard to follow. Like, I knew what was happening.
Yeah, it's a little dizzying at the end.
The end scene is,
the end scene was...
they're spinning around in this
lost
gravity well, and it's just,
part.
it's so crazy.
And then, like, his dad was there, and you could see him, and
watching the whole thing in the middle. Like, his dad's just like, I think I'll stay and watch.
Yeah, like, and he was cheering for Spider-Man, even though a minute ago he wanted an APB on him for killing his uncle. So, you know, as far as he believed, like, what did Spider-Man do that made his dad think he hadn't actually killed Uncle Aaron?
I mean,
like,
I don't know.
We don't see them interact at all between then and now.
I guess the using your context clues to know that the Kingpin is the one that caused this massive rift and that Spider-Man's trying to prevent it probably leads you to believe that Spider-Man's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So he's probably like, a guy that's doing the right thing wouldn't murder
my brother, but I guess.
Yeah.
Also,
although
wonder what he must have been thinking. Oh, my brother is dead. The fuck is he wearing? What is this? What
did he? It kind of shows that he knew what his brother was up to this whole time.
Yeah, maybe his brother was,
because that's why he's like, stay away from
Well, I'm sure he knows he's a criminal.
Yeah, well,
he might know he was some kind of killer, and maybe he became a cop because he was guilty about that knowledge.
I think he was cop first.
Yeah.
And
I know in the comics he's a burglar. Prowler's a burglar.
Yeah. A prowler, if you will.
If you will. Yeah.
And he's also the exact design that Todd McFarlane was like, I think I'll use this for Spawn.
Pretty much.
And then Marvel's like, well, now we're going to make Night Watch, and he's going to look more like Spawn.
It's a real Spawn arms race.
Yeah. The Prowler to Spawn to Night Watch designs are fantastic when you look at like the direction they went.
Awesome.
Man, I don't know.
The Prowler stuff is really great. The uncle's really cool.
Yeah.
Like they make him a really, really cool character, and then there's the real twist at the end, and then out of nowhere,
just gets shot. It's painful. Yeah, it's painful. Yeah,
because you really like him, and like he dies just as Miles is reaching out to him for help. You know, writing that letter. Like it's like, okay, he's opening up. He's vulnerable, and he's trying to find his uncle, and then suddenly, boom, there he is, but he's trying to kill me, so it's especially cruel.
I liked to pretend all of his lines were being delivered by Charlie Murphy when I was watching that, and it made it so much funnier to me.
Aww.
R.I.P. Charlie Murphy.
Rest in paradise.
Rest in power. Co-creator of Spider-Man, Charlie Murphy. Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, Charlie Murphy. Yeah, so like, Stan was like, we gotta make a Spider-Man. I'm like, yeah. You know?
Please tell me that's how he really talks.
That's not my Charlie. I don't know a good Charlie Murphy. Was that racist? It wasn't meant to be.
It's a little racist.
I was trying to do the impression of when he was doing the true Hollywood stories.
Yeah.
That is how he talks. It's not racist if that is
this is
the inflection.
Oh, man.
You know what? Just cancel this show.
Yeah, we might have to cancel the show altogether. Yeah. So, do we have any final thoughts? The after credit scene is pretty pretty fun.
Was cool.
Oscar Isaac, 2099 Spider-Man, and he goes to Earth 67. Was it? Yeah.
To the
Spider-Man 67, and it's the
series, and
it's the meme,
and they just do the meme, and it was cute. The pointing back and forth meme.
I've never seen that meme, so I actually really enjoyed that scene.
You know, on the internet?
Never.
No.
I mean, I am on the internet. I don't know. I didn't see it.
I mean, that's impressive that you've never seen
managed to avoid that meme.
I don't do much.
It's like how I've never been on Reddit.
Actually, I only just started Reddit like 3
Don't get
weeks
off
ago.
this.
Stop.
What are you doing?
Don't. No.
I know, right?
Never.
It's been making me so angry. I keep
Don't.
Put that down. Put that
Stop
down.
it.
See, I just downloaded it.
No, put that down. Don't show me Reddit.
Delete it. I'm going to throw that phone in the trash.
No.
I've never got into fantasy sports and Reddit, and I feel like my life is so much better because of that.
It does make me angry. That's true.
I like John Gorley from Portugal the Man goes on Reddit all the time, and I'm like, when do you have time for this? Like, what are you doing on there?
I feel like every time I see their Instagram, they're like, we're on tour. I mean, so you guys have been on tour for like 3 years.
Yeah, they are.
Stop it.
And they're recording their new album now.
Jeez.
They've got the house out out in here. So it's pretty rad. Expect a new album hopefully next year.
Sweet.
Although the last one took 3 years to make.
So that's Into the Spider-Verse.
There it is. Into the Spider-Verse. A cameo by Portugal. No,
final thoughts on Spider-Verse?
I really liked it. It was super cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful
cute.
word.
Super
It was
cute.
cute. I loved it. I think it's going to be great for the next generation. Seriously, go ahead and replace the Bible with this.
There it is.
Strong endorsement.
my Spider-Verse shirt.
You did. You're
It's
wearing
an
a sweet
amazing
Spider-Verse shirt. Yeah.
I love it. And this
Thank
movie
you.
also almost killed Dave. He's on the couch.
It killed Dave.
You want to comment, Dave?
I
Yay!
don't know if we're going to pick that one up.
Dave says it was good.
It was good.
All right. I'm going to cut this off.
Oh,
No.
I'm going to apologize, guys,
That's-
for being
Where's
for
Dave?
recording this
Where's
high.
Dave? Where, pray tell, is Dave?
Get your Where's Bane shirt in a couple months. I like when Bane showed up in this.
Yeah, that was
Spider-Man.
You merely adopted the Spider-Verse. I was born in it.
You swing like a younger man.
All right.
Find us on
The
the
swinging tips when he was swinging with Peter, I felt like playing the video game.
Oh, yeah,
It was like
it's very
tap and
release.
and
Yeah.
release.
It is very video gamey.
Yeah.
So that's a sewed. Do the things, you know what to do. Check us out on Patreon, Gamefully Unemployed. Check out our shirts, tpublic.com/stores/Gamefully Unemployed. And
follow me on the internet and listen to my shit.
Yep.
Do it.
I do great podcasts. You should hear them.
They are really great. And you can find me at Darth Marina on Twitter and also on Twitch. And on Tuesdays and or Thursdays, I host a Horizon Zero Dawn stream called Horizon. And it's super fun.
Yeah!
So you should definitely come.
Bam.
yeah, you do. All right. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.